right, well, today I wanted to talk about a movie that I love. Big Trouble in Little China. John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. This movie came out in 1986 and it was a box office flop. It didn't do well. In fact, it kind of derailed John Carpenter's career a little bit. I mean, it basically got him out of the studio system and back to doing low budget independent films. Stars Kurt Russell as Jack Burton, truck driver, who ends up in a situation that he doesn't understand. Chinatown, San Francisco, with his friend Wang, played by Dennis Dunn. Dennis Dunn's girlfriend gets kidnapped by Lopan's men. Lopan, played by James Hong. All right, and the movie it's weird. Okay, it's weird. It's comedic. It's funny. It's like an action comedy film, kind of on par with something like, I don't know, like Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters from '84. It's kind of got that same type of feel to it. It's got pretty great special effects, at least I think so. I think that the special effects in this hold up pretty well. But I mean, this was one that everybody had. This is considered a cult classic, right? Like, it flopped, and I think it found second life on home video, and on, television and whatnot. This was one that I would go over to friends' houses, and they would have it on VHS. But, wow, you've got this guy named Lopan, who's like a 2,000-year-old magician, uses Chinese black magic, right? There's Kim Cattrall's in this. She's pretty great. Gracie Law. She talks like a character from a 1940s detective movie, There's just... Kurt Russell's doing his best John Wayne impersonation through this thing. I mean, let me just play the opening segment of the film for anybody that's never seen this, so you can kind of get a flavor for what you're going to get in this. All right, hopefully you can hear it. Get the opening scene. I believe John Carpenter did the score for this, but we get introduced to Kurt Russell's character, Jack Burton, here as a truck driver.
This is Jack Burton in the Pork Chop Express, and I'm talking to whoever's listening out there. Like I told my last wife, I says, honey, I never drive faster than I can see. Besides that, it's all in the reflexes.
He's eating a massive hoagie.
Just listen to the old Pork Chop Express and take his advice on a dark and stormy night, all right? When some wild-eyed, 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against a barroom wall, he looks you crooked in the eye, and he asks you if you've paid your dues. Well, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye, and you remember what old Jack Burton always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, Jack? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail.
It's great, man. It's great. All right, so the bottom line is, this movie brings a smile to my face every time I watch it. You can see, I've seen this 100 times, and I'm laughing at the opening dialogue. This is definitely like a top 3 John Carpenter film for me. I'm a little bit of a John Carpenter fanboy. Okay, I'll admit it. Now, I will criticize his later work. I think that probably In the Mouth of Madness was the last good movie that John Carpenter made. He does have some stinkers, but his early work, pretty much this was everything up to this point, to 86, I think is fantastic. And unfortunately, the next film that follows this up, Prince of Darkness, I didn't care for. I know a lot of people like it. It's one of my least favorite John Carpenter movies. Um, but this is like Pete Carpenter, Kurt Russell, John Carpenter. What a team up. I love this film. Any of my peoples out there from the 80s, you 80s kids, you know what I'm talking about. This movie's great. I get a nostalgia trip off of this. Kurt Russell doing the befuddled John Wayne impersonation through the whole thing. And the great thing about it is that Kurt Russell's character Jack Burton thinks he's the hero, but he's actually not. He's the sidekick. That's what's funny. Dennis Dunn's character is actually the hero. You get some really cool kung fu sequences in this film. Dean Cundy's on cinematography for this, so the film looks great. The soundtrack or the score is really fantastic. There's some pretty great stunt work done in this thing, some wire work. Roger Ebert didn't like this film, but that's okay, because for whatever reason Roger Ebert hated John Carpenter. So I think that's why John Carpenter made fun of Siskel and Ebert at the end of the movie They Live. Puts a scene where those guys are talking trash about John Carpenter, which is pretty funny. That's another film I'll have to touch on because I love it. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think about this one. I love it. This is one of my favorite Kurt Russell movies. It's just fun. It doesn't make any sense. But seeing as Jack Burton is our point of view character and doesn't understand what's happening, what's that? What's going on? That's us as the audience. It doesn't have to make sense. It's great. James Hong is hilarious in this. Kim Cattrall, amazing. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day.